used to be a control freak.
You
I
know,
definitely used to be a control freak. And yeah, with events, it's really hard to let up on things because, if one thing is not handled right, it really
mhm.
has a domino effect. But, I have been incredibly fortunate to have found an event manager. Her name is Lauren Lopez.
Welcome to another episode of Grab Coffee with me, where great conversations and even better coffee meet purpose, leadership, and the people making a real impact in their communities and industries. This episode is caffeinated by Dalton Golf Solutions, your choice for portable golf experiences. Today's guest is an award-winning event planner and producer with more than 2 decades of experience creating unforgettable nonprofit galas, corporate experiences, and social events across Tampa Bay. She's the owner of Eventing Tampa Bay, the executive director of the CEO Council of Tampa Bay, and serves on the board of directors for Copperhead Charities, playing a key role in bringing leaders together and strengthening our community. She's a connector, a strategist, and a builder of meaningful experiences. Please welcome Alyssa Rhoads. Thank you, Alyssa, for joining my podcast.
Thank you for having me. What a
You
great
wear
introduction.
That's what you do, and you do more than that. As I know and as we know, you wear a lot of hats, and I appreciate you taking out the time in your day to record with us. So let's get right into it. Right? You have your Valspar cup there. Are you a coffee or are you a tea
Do
drinker?
I'm representing
There you go. Are you a coffee or tea drinker?
coffee every
Nice.
morning. I'm obsessed with my Nespresso.
Oh,
It
okay,
as
gotcha.
soon as I wake up.
Do you have any favorite coffee spots in the area?
I live in West Chase, and so
Okay.
I love the grind and Blind Tiger. That's right here. So, and then when I go to Tampa, I like La Segunda.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I went to Blind Tiger this morning on my morning
Okay.
walk, and I had the Dirty Tiger, which is so you have the Thai iced tea, and you have espresso, you have sweetened condensed milk and cinnamon. I believe it's what it is, and it's really good. So you have to try that
I'm
out
gonna
one
have to
day.
try that.
So a lot of people know you through Eventing Tampa Bay and the CEO Council, but they may not know your full journey. How did you first get into events, community building, and kind of what led you into starting Eventing Tampa Bay?
Sure. So I first got into events. Actually, my first, I always say, real job
Uh-huh.
out of college. I worked at a publication in Baltimore called Smart CEO Magazine.
Hmm.
And I was really kind of like an advertising assistant at the time. That's what I got hired for, at least. But the event person there had like just left and they were putting on this huge event for their CEO of the year. And that was the CEO of DLA Piper, which is international law firm, I believe.
Hmm.
So it was a big deal. And I like really kind of got thrown into the fire. And as soon as I was done with that event, I looked at my boss and I was like, this is what I want to do. And so,
Hmm.
we did events very similar to like what you see at Tampa Bay Business Journal
Okay.
here, like a Fast 50 kind of thing. We did all sorts of stuff like that. And so when I moved to Tampa, I actually got a job at the Tampa Bay Business Journal. And I was
Okay.
there for 5 years as the event manager. And when I got pregnant with my first daughter, it was time for me to leave. And so I
Uh-huh.
started eventing 13 years ago,
Hmm.
and it's been a whirlwind ever since.
Yeah. Great. It's funny because I keep telling myself I need to do a better job at my introductions, but I forgot to mention that you're a loving wife and mother. Mother of,
Yeah,
is it two? Is it two or three?
two girls.
Two
One's
girls. Yeah.
almost 13, and the other's
Wow.
10. They're both crazy athletic. They play
Oh,
travel
nice.
soccer, TBU, Tampa Bay United, and flag football. They're amazing. So proud
Great.
mama.
And I love seeing the posts as well. Being in the event space, when my company involved and we do a lot of events or we're plugged into a lot of events, it can get hectic, right? So at very, very fast pace, what were some of the early challenges you faced or experienced building your business and what lessons from those days or early days still guide you and how you operate today?
Sure. I think just my challenges. Well, let me start with actually how I was blessed. I was very
Hmm.
blessed because when I worked for Tampa Bay Business Journal, I was very fortunate. I got to meet every C-level executive in Tampa Bay. And they were able to see and experience all the events that I had put on. And I got to build some really great relationships from my time there. And so I would say that, like, actually, I kind of had an easier start, I think, than most people because I had made a name for myself in the community with that. But, I would say the challenge was always just getting those clients and
Hmm.
that getting the clients that I really wanted, right? To build a brand that you'd like.
Yeah.
And that really just comes with experience. And so, like I said, we've been in business for 13 years now.
Hmm.
I've been fortunate enough to work with some of the biggest companies, and I would say we've really found a niche with nonprofit galas. So we
Yeah.
do a lot of that, and I
Yeah.
really enjoy it. And it feels really great at the end of the day. I mean, we just did just this year so far. We did the Tampa Bay Ports event, and then I just finished the Florida Holocaust Museums event. We've been working with them for
Wow.
9 years. They raised over $1.6 million. So it just feels great that the events that we put on are really making an impact.
Yeah, I've been at a few. Yes, they make an impact, but they're pretty awesome. They're pretty awesome as
Thank
well.
you.
And
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
looking
I know you're
forward
a
to a
big
few this
Habitat
year.
for Humanity,
Yeah.
Tampa Bay
Yeah.
Gulf Side.
Hmm.
You're on the board, right?
Yep. I'm on the board.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So
Hmm.
that one, I'm always looking forward to that event. We're doing Boots on the Beach, April 10th at Opal Soul.
Yeah. So that's a change for us, and we're looking forward to being on the beach this year.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for
Bringing
that.
back rodeo disco. I mean, you guys were, nobody left the dance floor for 2 hours. So
I have my cowboy boots just sitting there, and my wife was like, "You gonna get rid of those?" I'm like, "No, we got another gala coming up. I got to wear my
that's
boots. I
right.
can't get rid of them just yet." But you mentioned that you did have an easier start compared to some, but you put in that work prior to starting your company. You know
Sure.
that hard work. It's nothing replaces hard work with what you did in Baltimore and what you did here with the Tampa Bay um, Business Journal. But then sometimes we things happen that's not in our control, right? 2020 with COVID.
Yeah.
And if you were in that event space, it hit you hard. So
Hmm.
how did it impact you and how were you able to recover?
That's a great question. Obviously, with corporate events and nonprofit galas, it definitely hit me. I was actually able to start a company during that time. I don't even know if you know this.
I
I
remember.
started a company called Kid Collective
Yeah.
Parties, and it was just something that at the time, no one was doing high end kid parties yet. I saw it in Miami. I saw it in Atlanta. I saw it in LA, like these major cities. And so I was like, you know what? Now's the time I'm going to do this. And so I actually went out and had really high quality kid size tables made, and I bought chairs. And so we started at the time, it was so perfect because people were having like COVID birthdays. So they'd have
Hmm.
10 people in their backyard, but it would all be like super Instagrammable. So everybody wanted the backdrops and the
Hmm.
beautiful tablescapes. And it let me, be creative. So I really enjoyed that time. It was a lot of weekend work. Again, very fortunate. I was able to sell that company to one
Yeah.
of my employees about 2 years after and let somebody else shine.
Yeah, I remember that. That's when we acquired Portable Golf Solutions and started to do mini golf around that same time. We had to kind of pivot and figure out a way to survive, right?
But you're still doing it, right?
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Even
yeah,
bigger and better now. Yeah, still doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what a great thing to like, you know, great things come from bad times sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So what did those times teach you about leadership and resilience?
Um, what did that teach me? I mean, what it taught me really was to I think I'm very driven by passion. So
Hmm.
it was something that had been weighing on me that I'd been wanting to do and like itching for it. I feel like I do get like a 5-year itch on almost
Yeah.
everything. I always need to do something like big. Um, and yeah, it's really cool to be able to like see that come to reality. And it was successful. But when events came back, I really dove right back into eventing
Yeah.
and all the things.
Yeah.
It's where my passion is, event
Yeah.
planning. Yeah.
Yeah. And if we go back to your intro, you wear a lot of hats: business owner, executive director, board member, wife, mother, community member. Very active in the community. How would you describe your leadership style today, and how has it evolved over the years wearing so many hats?
Sure. I used to be a control freak. I
Mhm.
definitely used to be a control freak. And yeah, with events, it's really hard to let up on things because, if one thing is not handled right, it really
Mhm.
has domino effect. But, I have been incredibly fortunate to have found an event manager. Her name is Lauren Lopez. Shout out to Lauren. She's been with me for, oh my God, I think 8 years. And
Mhm.
now we finish each other's sentences. And
Great.
I trust her immensely. Um, and I've been really, really able to let go and let her lead. And I'm so proud of her, just like everything that like she's led nonprofit galas on her own now.
Great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, if I as a business owner and leader can show up to an event and say, put me to work,
Mhm.
that's a dream for me. So couldn't do that without Lauren.
Yeah, so I need you to help me with that.
Yeah, everybody needs a Lauren. We need a I call her my unicorn. But yeah, everybody needs one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I know her and I talk a lot. We communicate a lot. I think when you talk about leadership style, I know that like could have been better at communicating more things,
Mhm.
and we just have a really great open line of communication now. So that's how I've grown as a leader.
Yeah, beautiful thing. You're so involved in a community. You, serve on the board of, Copperhead Charities. You know the impact that have had it's had on the community, our local
Yes.
community. Why, and then you also mentioned your sweet spot is the nonprofit galas. So why is community involvement so important to you, and how do you see business and community working best together?
Why is community? Listen, it just feels good, just to start with. It really does. I've met some of my favorite people through that. And I love being involved in something that is giving back to the community. Tampa Bay has been so good to me that, being a part of Valspar where we're giving away over $1 million to local charities every year, that feels great. Again, like we talked about earlier, seeing the nonprofits that I work with put so much effort into this like one event and watching them be able to raise, $1.6 million, knowing that the event that I help them put on is making such an impact. It just feels good. And
Yeah.
so, I would tell you that it's rare, but most of the organizations all of the organizations that I work with, I've become like very, very entrenched in their mission.
Mhm.
And I become an ambassador for them
Yeah.
because it just is, they're all doing such great things. It's hard to pick one, right?
Yeah, yeah. I will
It's
not
nice to
ask
be able to
I will not
be
ask you
involved.
which I will not ask you which one is your favorite.
Do not do that.
So much of your work revolves around relationships and collaboration. So
Yeah.
what do you think separates organizations that truly make an impact from those that just show up? And of course, sure you've seen both.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of obvious when someone just shows up.
Mhm.
It's not genuine. And I don't think real partnerships come from that,
Yeah.
right? Like you just show up. I mean, we see it all the time with committees. Somebody just puts their name on something.
Yeah.
Why? Right? Because they want a credit for something. People that really get involved and help, it's amazing how those things really that's not why they do it, but things really do come back to them and just like you said, just building partnerships and doing good.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, that's what it is, right?
Yeah, I
What's
mean,
good,
it's so
especially what's
cool,
good
like,
in your heart.
again, with Habitat, seeing all the CEOs that have been involved with the CEO build,
Mm,
and, I mean, I've gotten to know, a lot of new CEOs from that experience alone.
yeah.
Many of them
Yeah.
have joined the CEO council as well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it really is it's nice when you give back and it gives back to you.
Yeah, and you're also part of the women's build, if I'm correct,
Yes,
right?
I was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
the co-chair this year.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, great. You
Yeah.
posted something maybe earlier maybe in January, and I think yeah, and I saw an interview you had the other day, but you posted it on Facebook, but it was Mommy and Me High Tea. Is
Yes,
that correct?
yes.
Talk to us about that.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
as you know, I'm obviously an event planner.
Mhm.
But in 2017, I actually started my own event, and that is the Mommy and Me High Tea.
Hmm.
At the time, my daughters were really little. And again, kind of going back to the Kid Collective story,
Yeah.
I noticed that no one was doing anything for kids at the quality and level that like I would want to bring my kids
Yeah.
to. And so I realized, I have a lot of friends that are also entrepreneurs. I knew the owner of Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine. I know the
Hmm.
owner of a princess company. I knew the owner of a boutique. And so I just said, what if I did this?
Hmm.
Well, long story short, that took off. My first event there, my first event in 2017, I think we sold out at Maestro's at the Strauss Center with like 200 people. And the very next year, Armature Works had just built the Gathering, that huge space.
Hmm.
And so I kind of said, let's go big or go home, and booked the Gathering for my second year. And I quickly realized that this event could be so much more. There's so many women wanted to be involved. And from my experience working with nonprofits, I said, we've got to turn this into a charity event.
Hmm.
And so I'm proud to say that we've been working. This has turned into a full-fledged charity event. Our partner benefiting charity is Redefining Refuge. They are a local organization here in Tampa Bay that helps kids that have been human trafficked and sexually exploited. They most recently were made big news for helping save about 60 kids along with the
Saw that.
FBI.
I saw that. Yeah.
You're just doing incredible work. And some of the most horrific things have come out of the stories that, Redefining Refuge deals with these kids that have just been through awful, awful situations. And so the Tea Party really kind of reinforces girls to have confidence and make sure that they're not vulnerable or susceptible to human traffickers and sexual exploitation. We don't talk about human trafficking at the event, of course, because there's 3-year-olds and whatnot,
Mm.
but we do talk about body safety and boundaries for little kids. And man, the moms are so appreciative of that. So yeah, we've raised, I think, over $600,000 for the organization. Yeah, I'm super proud of it. It's really
Yeah.
great.
Amazing.
TGH is a sponsor, Muma Children's Hospital.
Mhm.
We have all sorts of sponsors that are really, helping Redefining Refuge to support them, but also making beautiful memories with the moms and their daughters. So
Great. I try not to
9 years,
date.
9 years strong.
I try not to date the podcast, but when is the next tea party?
So our upcoming tea party is May 3rd at
Okay.
Armature Works.
And do you have any tickets left? How do people get
Yeah.
involved? How
So,
can they find it?
well, as of right now, you don't want me to say a date. As of right now, we have not opened regular tables or
Okay.
tickets.
All
So
right.
those go
Gotcha.
on sale next week, and those usually sell out very quickly.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
So
we
let's
cap it
talk.
at 400 people. So, it's not romper room in there with, a
Yeah,
million children.
I can only imagine. So let's talk CEO Council of Tampa
Yeah,
Bay. Yeah, I love attending those events every year at the Hard Rock Seminole Casino there.
our pinnacle. Yeah.
Yeah, the Pinnacle event is great. From from Savannah Banana,
Jesse Cole,
Jesse Cole to the guy that started Fubu to it's
Damon
just been so
John,
many. Yeah,
Marcus Lemonis. Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
been so many great speakers.
Yes.
What is the CEO Council of Tampa Bay? What role do they play in the Tampa Bay community, and what impact has it
Sure.
had?
So the CEO Council, we're a membership organization. We have about 250 CEOs that all have to meet our qualifications. So our requirements are that you have to be the CEO or the
Hmm.
top executive in all of Tampa Bay
Hmm.
to join. So I'll give you an example. If there's like a market president of a bank, they
Okay,
would qualify, right?
gotcha. Makes sense.
Our revenue is at least 3 million and 25 full-time W-2 employees. Or we have a scaling model. It's also 5 million in revenue and 15 full-time employees. That's a
Nice.
recent change as of
Hmm.
last year. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And so yeah, with the council, we do actually over 190 events a year.
Oh, wow.
That includes all of our roundtables. So we have
Yeah.
16 roundtables that meet monthly. Our members are put into groups of about 15, all industry exclusive, and they sign a confidentiality agreement. It's just a place where they can talk about issues at the top that you can't talk to with your COO and your
Hmm.
CFO.
Hmm.
And many of our members find it to be the most valuable part of the council. You know, you've got a CPA talking to somebody that is the CEO of a roofing company, and they still have the same issues, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we do that. We also have a lot of fun together. We have 6 happy hours throughout the year. We do 2 socials that are just a party with like your significant other.
Hmm.
We have a speaker series every month. And then, of course, we have Pinnacle, which is our signature event that actually I started when I came on board. And like you said, we've had Damon John, Marcus Lemonis, Jesse Cole. And this year, I'm so excited. We have Lance Armstrong coming.
I'll
He's
be
doing
there.
a live interview on stage. We're calling it the Rise, Fall, and Redemption of
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong because clearly he's had a lot of scandal. But the coolest thing is our Copperhead Charities General Chair, Rondé Barber,
Hmm.
Hall of Famer, will be the moderator for that. So it's going to
Very
be a
cool.
really great event. We actually have turned it into a summit this year. And so that event's going to start at 1 p.m. and we'll have 3 panels that are member filled. That event is actually not open to the public, but our members have the opportunity to invite other folks. And so, yeah,
Yes.
we usually have about 350 people there.
Yeah. Always a great time. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
as you are looking to the future, whether it's eventing Tampa Bay, the CEO Council, Copperhair Chatties, and all the stuff you do in the Tampa Bay community as a whole, what
Yeah.
excites you the most about what's ahead?
Hmm. Wow, what a great question. What excites me the most? I think that I really love just making an impact on anything we do, like anything I do, anything I'm a part of. And so I think just specifically with eventing, I want to be able to do more and step away a little bit more.
Okay.
So, like we talked about earlier, definitely keep on brand with the events that make sense for us. And then with the council, man, I love we have such an energetic, passionate board of directors that we're constantly evolving. I mean, this year we're celebrating 25 years as an organization and man, the diversity has skyrocketed.
Hmm.
I mean, just this year alone, we have 7 new members and 5 of them are female.
Wow.
And so, yeah, you could not say that, 10 years ago. And so I love that we're open to change, but also keep with what really makes it work and what makes the CEO Council so special. And so we're just going to continue to put on great events at, the best we can do and have great impact in our community.
Cool. So, Alyssa, congrats on all your success.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
all that you do in the community, and thank you for joining me for a virtual cup of coffee. Appreciate you taking the time out your day to let us record, and thank you to your family as well. To allow that to happen. And to my audience, thank you for listening to another episode of Grab Coffee with me, caffeinated by Dowden Golf Solutions. I hope you learned something today because I did. And if you like this episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe on all major streaming platforms so you don't miss what's brewing next. So until next time, keep your coffee strong and your conversations meaningful. Thank you, Alyssa.
Thanks, Ian.
Bye bye.
Bye.